All right, happy Wednesday night, everybody. It feels like Thursday. It's Wednesday. We played basketball on a Tuesday, played baseball on a Tuesday. Now we're playing basketball on a Wednesday with the Lady Raiders. We got a lot of stuff going on here in Raiderland. Luckily, we're here. You're here. We're gonna have a good show tonight. Coming to you from the Hat Creek Interior Studios. You do not have to own a ranch to live like you do. If you own a ranch, then you probably already know you need all of your furnishings and accessories from Hat Creek Interiors in Lubbock, Texas, 10101 South Slide Road. Get on their website, hatcreek.us. Corey Flanagan, great people. Check them out. Tell them when you go to their Facebook page. By the way, thanks for supporting Raiderland. All right, so tonight, horrible day for Texas Tech basketball yesterday, last night, into today. The loss to Arizona State, minuscule compared to the loss of All American forward J.T. Toppin. We'll get your thoughts on that, what it means for this team going forward, what's next, what's the ceiling for this team, anything and everything you want to talk about on that, we'll do tonight. So it's really what's next for Texas Tech basketball. We'll give you where they are right now, where we think they might be going into the tournament in March. Lady Raiders in action as we speak, 32-17 over Baylor in Lubbock. Huge game there. Tech baseball got their first win of the year last night down at UT Rio Grande Valley. It was a Rush album, 21-12. Yeah. Getty Lee, stepping the base. Be very happy. Mainly, we want to hear from you on the United Supermarkets chat line. United Supermarkets, Market Street. There's probably one where you are. If not, you need to move. But they support things in West Texas and Texas Tech. There's another store that doesn't do that, takes your money and sends it down south. Let's get it going tonight on the United Supermarkets chat line in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. Glad you're hanging out with us tonight in the Hat Creek Interior Studios, brought to you by Shropshire Insurance of Texas. You know, big enough for the whole state, based in Lubbock. They're independent just like you are. Give my friend Jeff a holler. If you're looking at your insurance needs this year, you need to call them this week and tell them thanks for supporting what we do. They got a great Facebook page. They celebrate local West Texas businesses. So go over there. Also, South Plains College, the road to Raiderland runs through Levelland. Fun courses like cooking courses, art, different things like that, continuing education. You don't have to be a traditional college student to be over there in Levelland taking some cool stuff. Now, they've got the campus in Lubbock now. They got online stuff. Check out everything they have to offer on their website. It's South Plains College. Pretty cool stuff there in Levelland. Where do you guys want to start tonight? I guess we'll start. We'll keep up with the Lady Raiders, 32-20 over Baylor with 16 to go in the second period. As Coach Sharp would say, the Lady Raiders came out set on go on a huge game for Big 12 seeding in the tournament, just NCAA tournament, you name it, everything on that. But last night, the game that nobody was really paying attention to, tucked away at 10 o'clock. 10-10 actually is, I think, when it tipped off. Texas Tech at Arizona State. Beleaguered Arizona State. Just about 6 or 7 healthy players. No way they could hang with Texas Tech. As the evening went on, they were hanging with Texas Tech. Then, with 6 minutes to go, J.T. Toppin down the left side of the lane. A stagger, a fall, and an ACL injury. A non-contact ACL injury. And when I saw the video of that and watched it again, it reminded me of so many ACL injuries that happen in women's basketball over the years. You typically don't see that in men's basketball. You do not see the ACL tears in men's sports and men's basketball, particularly the way we did for years and years and years in women's college basketball and some other sports. You watched it, had a bad feeling about it today, confirmed. J.T. Toppin done for the year. So let's get down to brass tacks. What do you think happens from here? As of right now, Texas Tech is a solid 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. Will the committee factor in the loss of Toppin? Yes, they will. Almost certainly when it comes to seed time. So I'll ask you tonight, What do you think the ceiling is seed-wise, and what do you think the ceiling is from here for this team? And how does this team move forward? What is the identity of this team? It's been a volume shooting three team with Christian Anderson at the point, Toppin down low. You just got Bamboye back. Some other players beginning to assert themselves on the perimeter a little bit. What is this team going for? You tell me on the United Supermarkets chat line tonight. We can talk about Texas Tech baseball if you want to as well. 21-12 over UT Rio Grande Valley. Good news, bad news. You scored 21. You gave up 8 in the first inning. It really kind of did settle down after the 8-run first inning. You had some guys go out there and pitch fairly well for Texas Tech. You had Lincoln Garcia, the freshman, out there getting 2 home runs on the night. You might say he went Lincoln Park twice. Don't know. So your thoughts there. And then we're keeping up with the Lady Raiders. 39-23 now, 4:20 left in the first half. Anything and everything on your mind. So what is it now? What's the ceiling in March for this team? I think, by the way, I think this will go down as one of the most painful what-if injuries in Texas Tech sports, because this team, I think, with a healthy Toppin, Bamboye coming back, some other players, Atwell beginning to show, some other players on the roster beginning to chip in, that I really thought this was a team that could make a run to the Elite Eight. And if you had good matchups and everything was going well, you had a great player in Christian Anderson, have a great player, and you had a special player in J.T. Toppin. This will rank up, I think, for me, with some of the biggest injuries and the biggest what-ifs in Texas Tech sports history. Let's get it going on the United Supermarkets chat line. And I'm going to say right now, for all the Twitter X people, so we use StreamYard for our third-party streaming service. They're great. They're wonderful. Twitter X, Elon Musk, he's having the problem, not us. And it's not loading in real time on Twitter X. Hence the reason I put on Twitter X, follow us on YouTube, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Follow us on Facebook, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Never miss a thing. It's all free. Get over there. So if you're watching the replay tonight on Twitter X and wondering why didn't I get the note, it's Twitter. It's not us. But we give you multiple options here in Raiderland. That's what we do. That's why it's a multi-platform sports media network. Not just limited to that. TheRaiderland.com. We're everywhere. All right, let's get some questions and comments going. Let's talk Tech basketball, men's and women's, ceiling in March. What do you think happens? How do you want to see this team play? What's the identity? Ryan, I hate to say it, but it feels like a second-round tourney exit. I'm not going to argue with you because right now I can't tell you where Tech's going to go in. Like if I told you right now that Tech could hold on to the 4th seed, that would be amazing. Obviously, you've got Kansas State coming up. They're in disarray. Cincinnati, they can be good at home, but not on the road. Iowa State's going to be a booger. TCU, BYU, and now the tournament means something to you. The Big 12 tournament actually means something to Texas Tech. But if I told you could hold on to the 4 seed, I would take that in a heartbeat. All right? Chris on Facebook, I think, unfortunately, the ceiling for this team is narrowed to maybe winning 1 game in the tourney. But if anyone could pull the rabbit out of the hat, it's McCaslin. Making sure he said hat. Chris is an old Tech fan on Facebook. It's the Rodney Allison injury for basketball. So Rodney Allison gets hurt in the 3rd game of the year, 1st game of the Southwest Conference season in 1977, Heisman Trophy candidate there at quarterback for Texas Tech. And it took a 1977 team coming off that 10-win season from 1976 to a 7-win team. They ended up in the Tangerine Bowl, did the Red Raiders that year, after the loss of Allison. And they lost to Florida State, like 47-7, something like that. Weird stat of the day on that. That was Bobby Bowden's first bowl victory at Florida State. in 1977 in the Tangerine Bowl against Tech. You know, the Allison injury is legend and lore, depending on how old you are. I get that. But this one happening later in the season almost seems more damaging because we've seen what this team can do. I mean, who knows? Maybe the 77 football team wasn't going to be that great. Now they were going to be pretty good. JCTT, Tech seed will drop for sure. They will have to reinvent, and folks step up. 7 seed, Sweet 16 appearance would be ceiling and appreciated at this point. Yeah, if this team could get to the second week of the tournament, that'd be great. I think you can hold on to a 5 seed out of respect out of the Big 12. But the committee's they're gonna nail you for Toppin and not being there. You're not gonna get the real metric. You're not gonna get the Ken Palm number. You're not gonna get, any of those numbers. They will punish this team for Toppin not being there. The question is going to be how much. Is that a seed line? And in the Big 12 this year, and this is where I think it hurts Texas Tech a little bit, that the Big 12 is so good that they just move up teams and they slide you down. Anything other than like an 8-9 line, right? Anything other than that, we're good. Jeff jumps in on Facebook. Right now, it's Raiderland. Grant Leonard had a hard road to try to redesign redesign an offense with 6 games left. Timbo, I believe coach can rally them to 3 more conference wins and a big turning win. Anything more unlikely. And then that 3-4 seed is probably a 7-8 seed now. I hope not. I hope you can hang on to a 5, maybe a 6. Really, I think you can hold on to a 5. All right, so let's ask the question tonight now. What does this team become? What do you have? You got Christian Anderson, right? You got Luke Bamboye coming back, giving you more minutes in the post. Now he has to become this year's version of Tariq Owens. Now I know he's not Tariq Owens, but stay with me on this. Protect the rim, get rebounds, allow the basketball to be entered, draw defense, kick it back out, get it on the wing. I would, at this point, move Anderson off the point predominantly, and I would allow him to become the 2 guard, the shooting guard, and the scoring guard. Who's your best player right now? It's Christian Anderson. Is he a very good college point guard? Yes, he is. All right, so Petty goes over there, and I need Anderson on the wing. Atwell's got to be huge. Well, everybody has to be huge from here. But Atwell has to be huge from here. Lawan Watts has to be smart, talented, can move the basketball over the floor, but he goes brain dead at times, well documented. I thought McCaslin was going to kill him at UCF right before the end of the first half on a shot decision making. So now Lawan Watts has to be the smartest player on the floor. He has to elevate his basketball IQ. Not his real IQ, his basketball IQ. Then we get into the idea of pace of play. What does this team need to play at now? It's been kind of an in-between pace team that you could speed up Houston, and sometimes when they speeded up teams, it didn't look so good. UCF, for one. I think it becomes maybe a moderate tempo game, a little bit moderate tempo. That all the people that were saying, I don't want Grant McCaslin coming here when he was at North Texas because he's going to play a 58-59 game. Well, you better hope now he still remembers how to coach that way and can coach you to a 58-59 game. So I lean towards a little bit slower pace with this team. We'll see. What do you guys think is going to happen? J.T. Toppin done for the year. One of the worst injuries affecting a team, affecting a young man, obviously, first and foremost for J.T. Toppin, a great player. But one of the biggest injuries in Texas Tech sports history. Let's talk with Gary next on Facebook. Chris, I said the exact same thing. I think this team cannot cannot excel now. I think 12-6 in conference and maybe can win one game in the NCAAs. Please play Mosley and Horner instead of Watts and Petty. No, Petty's going to have to be huge. Watts has got to be huge. Mosley, I'd like to see him play more, but we're not there yet. And Horner is getting time. Totally ineffective and turnover prone. Bam has got to quit fouling so early. Well, yeah, he's got to play 35 minutes a game now, right? Watts has to find it or sit. Chris, heck, just pull a Baylor and bring back Owens. Sure, there's some eligibility left. Yeah, bring back Owens. Keenan Evans might be healthy. Cape up. We may look at Arizona State and UCF, which gave great teams fits. Slow down, clear out, play one-on-one, pound threes. Thoughts? I don't like one-on-one. I need more movement. I can't get threes without movement for the most part, so I hate one-on-one. Now, the idea of slowing down the game a little bit with this team going forward, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with taking away a few possessions on your end, dragging it out a little bit, because again, what we were just talking about there with Bamboy, we got to keep a post player on the floor. All right, we got to keep a post player on the floor in some form or fashion. Post players get fouls when things get up and down and ugly and they don't get set. Get out of position. Now the threes will only happen. The volume threes will only happen again if you have a post presence. If they have no reason to respect anything inside 15 feet, 10 feet, they will cover out on shooters. You will not see an open look three, and that's going to be the end of it. So you gotta have the inside presence. By the way, we're at the half. Texas Tech and Baylor. Huge game at United Supermarkets Arena. 48-28. The Red Raiders are doubling up Baylor. Not Dublin, Dr. Pepper. Doubling up Baylor. 48-28 at the half. Snutta Collins 15, 14 from Maupin. Another 9 from Nunez. And they are shooting 65% from the floor of the Lady Raiders. 20 of 31, 7 of 13 long, and 1 of 1 at the free throw line. We've only shot 5 free throws in the first half in this game. Texas Tech in a huge game for the Lady Raiders. Like I said, Marcia Sharp used to use the phrase, we got to come out set on go. By God, this team came out set on go. 48-28 at the half. Yep, sorry, I didn't see that right before we launched into that. Off our Facebook, I was thinking the 3 seed before last night with a run to the Elite Eight. Now I'd be happy if we get out of the first round. I think this team can still get out of the first round unless, obviously we've got 2 more weeks, 2.5 weeks, plus the tournament, Big 12 tournament, to look at what the team's going to look like going forward. So we can all change our prognostications and everything based on what we see. I think they can get through a first round game, but I think if you're playing on the second weekend, that's a hell of a deal right now. Tony Batiste still has a senior year. Damn it, get him on. Get him in. Get him in. I don't care how old he is. Get him in. Michael on our YouTube channel. And again, if you're watching this replay, and if you're on our Twitter X, our third-party streaming apparatus called StreamYard, Twitter is having a problem linking to it. It's not StreamYard, it's Twitter. It's Elon. It's not us. We try to tell you, subscribe to the other channels, never miss a thing. I predict they don't win the Big 12 championship for sure. Well, yeah. Maybe I don't think they were going to win the Big 12 championship at all. Maybe win their first game in the tournament, but lose the next game. Yeah, I wasn't picking them to win the Big 12 title or the Big 12 tournament championship. Robert, Texas Tech basketball will drop to a 6 seed. As we sit here right now tonight, if you told me it's absolutely no worse than a 6 seed and you could still maybe get a 5 seed. And by the way, the 5-12 matchups, the 5s almost always win. That's a myth. I think I'd take that deal right now, Robert. 6, no worse than a 6. Chance to hold on to a 5. Even before the injury, that was about the worst game all season. Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. Yeah, it looked like a team that had been out in Arizona and Tempe hanging out after. And this team's done it this year, right? What have we seen? Big win, Houston, UCF. We've seen this team be on a yo-yo. This wasn't all that surprising, but it was surprising that UCF's going to be like a 20-win team or whatever. They're good. Arizona State sucks. But I'm glad their coach Hurley took great credit for it after the game and reminded everybody what a great coach he is. And never mind, he's never got past the first round of the NCAA tournament or anything. But yeah, he's a great coach. Yeah, it was that game that I think in the what if Toppin doesn't go down, I think Texas Tech wins last night in an ugly fashion, and everybody's like, "Yeah, got that one by." Yeah, that was the one. That was the trap game. Everybody be talking trap game, you know. Who does win the Big 12 regular season tourney or both? Agendas differ in the Big 12 tournament year by year. You know, so it's like who's built better to win it. Do I still think Arizona's a hell of a team? Yeah, I still think Arizona's a hell of a team. So I think Arizona probably the hell of a team that wins the regular season. So then is it an Iowa State? It's so easy to say Iowa State because they do so well up there at the Big 12 tournament. But I would say probably still Arizona, even with the 2 losses. And I just still think they're the best team in the Big 12, although on any given night, any given Sunday or Saturday or Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, you know, Houston, Iowa State. Could have been Tech in that mix, not now. I'd say Arizona and then maybe take a flyer on Iowa State. Iowa State, the Big 12 tournament has always mattered to them going back into the 90s. Hilton South, as they called Kemper Arena, and then the new arena there in Kansas City. Agendas, though, will be the big thing at the Big 12 tournament. Who needs what for what? Am I playing for a 1 seed or do I have it locked up if I'm Arizona? What am I, Houston? You know, what am I doing there? You know? Sorry, literally, does Big 12 crown winner of season or tourney? Both. You get the Big 12 championship for the regular season. The automatic bid to the NCAA tournament goes to the winner of the Big 12 conference postseason tournament, which I hate that. And I wish we could get rid of the postseason tournament and just, hey, the winner of the regular season gets the automatic bid, but makes a lot of money and they seem to like money. And I've had a lot of fun at tournaments over the decades and everything else. Some of the best hospitality rooms I've been to. Kansas City. Good Lord. There's nothing better, by the way, than checking into the downtown Hyatt Regency in Kansas City and your last name's Hyatt. You want to get some freaking good service? Check into a Hyatt Regency. And that's one of the premier ones in the country, by the way, with your last name Hyatt. The only thing better is checking into like a high-level DoubleTree back in the day or a competing Marriott property and your last name is Hyatt. And then they're like, what's he doing? He's sneaking around. He's scoping out stuff. He's a spy. Extra cookies at the DoubleTree when your last name is Hyatt. If they get rid of the conference tournament, then they can't use the LED court. Good Lord. That's either going to be, it is the disco floor, right? Saturday Night Fever. That's all it is. It's a disco floor. It lights up from underneath. John Travolta dancing on it. We know how to do it. I mean, that's all. That's all it is. It's not new. Jeez. I don't know. Big 12, trying to stay relevant, doing what you can. Get the LED floor. No, seriously, I get it from a advertising and everything else standpoint, but if for 1 second it makes the basketball not bounce right or it's bad for the game, then it's bad for the game, in my opinion. Get rid of it. There are ways we can still make money. I know we haven't gotten into Tech baseball a whole lot tonight. That's okay. We got time tomorrow, and then certainly Friday, Albany coming into town. 15 straight home games coming up. Ask me in a week what I think about this team. I like Link Garcia, what he did. Yeah, that was good. But ask me about a week from now. Let me watch some baseball. I think they're better than the last year. I don't know how much better they are. I'm not saying they're going to go win 40 games. I'm not even saying they're going to get in the NCAA tournament right now. Although that should always be the bottom line. Literally the bottom basement. You get in the tournament, you go play postseason play. Not the Big 12 tournament. I'm talking the NCAA tournament. But I understand the reality that they are skating with 1/3 of scholarships compared to all the really good teams in the country. And that was a Texas Tech decision. Kirby Hocutt in the athletic department decided a year and a half ago, no, we're not going to fully fund. And I think they got caught off guard that all of the major programs said, yeah, we'll spend 34 scholarships. I really don't think they were anticipating that. I don't think they were. Lady Raiders, we're still at the half, 48-28. This could be a huge, massive, seismic win for the Lady Raiders. And then what's next for Texas Tech basketball? What do you think happens from here? Get your comments, your questions in. J.T. Toppin done for the year. I think this is one of the great injuries of all time at Texas Tech. Where would I rank it? All right, here's what we would do. How would we rank the J.T. Toppin injury? In Texas Tech basketball, on really good teams with the chance to go deep in the tournament, this is as big as it gets that I can think of in the last 30 or 40 years, really, on any level, that you had an injury like this. This late in the season, when you knew the team was going to be good. Lady Raider basketball, Connie Robinson comes in post player forward after Cheryl Swoops, 1993. She's there in 93, 94, 94, 95. Knee injury, I believe it was College Station, about this time maybe, on a team that was trending to be a number one seed, probably in the Midwest or the West. Connie Robinson goes down with knee injury. Season done. Great player. This is a team that was, I think, going to go to the Final Four. They get knocked down on the seed level. They end up in the same region as Tennessee. They go and lose in the Elite Eight at Thompson Bowling to Tennessee. That team, without that injury, I still believe to this day, was going back to the Final Four. I don't know if it could win a national championship, but it was going back to the Final Four. Baseball over the years, you've had so many injuries with arms and everything else, but that 2018 team, Stephen Gingery goes down. What was it, UCL? I think it was the UCL. Early in the season, doesn't get to pitch. One of the best returning pitchers in college baseball. You put him on that 2018 team that goes to Omaha, things might have been a little bit different. Football, we talked about the Rodney Allison injury. There haven't been a lot of, this is kind of sad to say, there haven't been a lot of great football teams that you just go back and you say, my gosh, if they hadn't lost so-and-so, they would have done X. Hey, Baron Morton, had he been healthy, a healthy Baron Morton this year, 100% healthy, could have been different. So when it comes to injury losses, this is one of the biggest ones, I think, in Texas Tech sports history. I really do. And we want to see J.T. Toppin back healthy first and foremost next year. And could he be in a Tech uniform? Maybe so. Ryan, thoughts on whether the injury increases chances Toppin comes back next year? Depending on who you were talking to, where he was slotted in the NBA draft, all of that, would that change? Would he be more valuable in a Tech uniform monetarily to J.T. Toppin next year from an NIL standpoint and everything else? Could you keep Christian Anderson around? Could you try to run it back next year with those two and add a little bit? Crass reality is, I think, and we'll have to wait and see a little bit on the NBA dynamic and how long the recovery process is for Toppin. But yeah, I don't think it hurts the chances of Toppin being back next year. I'm not saying it helps. I don't think it hurts. All right, what do you got for me? Fire away. Give us some good questions tonight before we get out of here. Thanks to the Shropshire Insurance of Texas, big enough for the whole state, based in Lubbock, independent just like you. The Shropshire Agency, also by South Plains College. The road to Raiderland runs through Levelland. Everybody getting in tonight on the United Supermarket chat line, and we are here, emanating forth, coming to you from the Hat Creek Interiors Studios, the coolest Western-style furniture. If you're outside the loop, you're beyond the 289, outside the Hubaplex, get on their website, hatcreek.us. They ship anywhere pretty much in the known universe, and they do it right. So, green-white checker finish here, going a little late. You tell me your last thoughts. Anything else tonight? Anybody watch Apocalypse Now last night? Lonesome Dove? Godfather? Anybody? Probably have to watch a little Lonesome Dove this weekend. You guys have been fantastic. I will say again for our Twitter people, Twitter X, it's not you, it's Twitter. It's not coming through right now. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ryan Knights Raiderland, and Facebook, Ryan Knights Raiderland, and you won't miss a thing. I ask you guys when we post this on social media, share it with your friends there, and then go to the website tonight, theraiderland.com, and you can post it from there as well. You guys are fantastic. We'll see you tomorrow in theraiderland.com.